record to this computer. It is now recording. Here we are.
Awesome.
Welcome everybody, Women Creating Wealth with Nikken. Yay! And Barbara, thank you so much for putting out such a beautiful message. And my apologies if I confused everybody, which I confused myself also. But here we are. I'm delighted that we're all coming together. And I'm really thrilled about these calls. I want these calls to really go through this year full on, full bore, and have lots of different people participating at different times. Put yourself on mute, please, if you're in a noisy place or moving around. And if you're moving around a lot, as in if you're in the car or something like that, just be aware with video that it can be very distracting if you're kind of moving a lot for other people. So just then you can mute your video as well. So, muting your audio is important because of rustlings and so forth. And then muting the video is important if you're moving around a lot. I was on a call the other day with Rick Murphy, and he was moving through a gym, and I honestly, I got seasick. I was like, he was moving the camera so much, his phone. So just want to be aware that we want to practice we can practice on these calls. We want to practice just being here, being vibrant, not doing other things at the same time. If you're doing other things, you can just hide your video. And make it so that everybody can kind of focus in. Oh, I see a man behind the woman there. There's no worries. We'll let him sit there quietly, maybe. So, but this call, Barbara and I spoke in San Antonio about the women in Nikken, because the women are 75, 80% of Nikken consultants are women. And she was just like, I want to hear more from the women. And I understand that. And it's not that we don't love the men. We do. We do. We love them greatly. And they do wonderful work. Gary Linda's new brochure is so exciting. All the new tools. It's all wonderful. So it's not men against women, women against men. It's just that we wanted to create a call that was for women. Right, Barbara? I know you're on mute. Yes, I know. So, it was just through our conversation down there. And she was like, why aren't there more women on stage? And I was like, I'm not in control of this agenda, but we thought about doing this call. I thought about doing this call for a long time. I had suggested it here and there, and it didn't seem like the right time or the right traction. Let me see if I can mute here and do that. So here we are. Many of us just came back from Salt Lake City from the summit. It was wonderful. It was beautiful. And people were just stellar. And so I just want to say first and foremost that how proud we are of all the women that were up speaking, doing great work. Everybody. It was awesome. The new team Kaizen, and we got Michelle Kowalczyk, we got Sherry Danzig, we got Nikki Edgell over in England. We've got, we're so proud of you for what you're doing, Kimball Sargent. So the women are on the rise, and that's why we want this call. We want this call to really focus in on us as women. It's not going to be about the products or how to do the business. Of course, some of that will come in, but that's not the real focus. It's about us as women and how do we create wealth in our lives and what gets in the way and how do we really come together to support each other. We know that in Nikken, we can't do it alone. We're very clear that we cannot do this business alone. We do it cooperatively. And the more we cooperate, the more power we have. And as women, the more we synchronize, particularly with social media now, the more we like, comment, and share each other's posts, the more traction we'll get, the more buzz we will create. We are 80% of Nikken is women. If we're not doing that, it's hard for it to get that excitement and traction going. Although we've got great things going. I talked to Herb Rapp the other day, and he said his check doubled last year over the year before. I mean, that's impressive with the Royal Diamond. So we've got a lot of things, but we want the women to really have a lot more synergy. So that is critical, and that's just one of the first things is using YouTube, making YouTube videos, short ones, 3 minute, 2 minute, 1 minute, and posting them and not just showing a product and saying, oh, this is a great Nikken product, this is my seat. No, using it in context of your life, because that's where people are going now to learn. How do I help my kid with anxiety? How do I, sleep at night? How do I, help my husband's bad back? And that's where they're going. So we want you to pop up there with all your stuff. The next thing I wanted to cover just quickly is balance. So in my talk, I talked a lot about challenge and the balance. We talk a lot about a balanced life, but a balanced life, balance can be very, can be a sort of entropy. It's not what we're going for that ultimately, but we have to go out of balance to have balance. And that means a purpose-driven life. And the weirdest thing is that after doing that talk about challenging ourselves and getting on purpose, a purpose-driven life, the next day I had an article show up in my email exactly on balance and on purpose-driven, and that both are crucial, both are critical, but that the balance is more the feminine, and the purpose-driven is more the masculine drive. And we need both. And for women, we have our femininity on our side. It's a relationship business. Women are the best in network marketing. Period. The end. Women are the best because we are so relational. So, but we have the feminine, but we also have the inner masculine. And we have to touch in on that inner masculine too, and use that aspect of ourselves to propel us forward into rank advancements, creating wealth, setting goals, not being scared of the volumes. I've had people say to me before, I'm scared of the volumes, or I'm scared of looking at the volumes, or I don't look at the volumes. I don't do that thing. And I'm like, you have to do that thing. That is our business, is volumes, but that means people, of course. That means people. Lori, stop putting your finger up there. You're distracting us. There you go. Thank you. So this balance and this purpose-driven is important. And now I want to just say that right now, for those of you who care about this, I have always studied astrology a lot. And I'm going to tell you, astrologically, right now, we couldn't have a better time for women to drive forward. And I'm going to just say why briefly. All planets are direct right now. All planets are direct. Last year, many planets were in retrograde all year. Right now, today is a lunar eclipse. It's a major eclipse. It's a blue moon. It's a major eclipse, and it's in the sign of Leo. What that means is being the star of your own life. And what that means for us as women is really being the queen of your own life and taking that energy forward. Michelle is smiling. Taking that energy forward, being the queen, no matter what your husband says, if you have one, or your boyfriend or whatever, it's taking the sovereignty of your being and bringing that forward. And this is what happens when somebody goes for those goals. Whether you're looking at silver, gold, platinum, diamond, you're looking at that, it's an alchemical structure to show you that you're already a royal diamond. You've just got to peel away any belief systems that says you are not that and move into action to create your community, your tribe. Now, the power of eclipses right now with Leo and Aquarius is Leo is you being the star of your life, and Aquarius is community. Aquarius is sisterhood. And we couldn't have a better year with all these planets going direct and this beautiful balance of you being the queen of your own life and yet creating this sisterhood, this community, which is how we build a Nikken business, is you're really building your tribe. So Leo is also a lot about love. It's a lot about fun. It's a lot about bringing your inner child forward. It's a lot about creativity. And it's a fire sign. And so it's really looking at what is it in Nikken? Why have you chosen this? What is it that fires you up? What is it that gives you your enthusiasm, your natural excitement for life itself? Why have you picked Nikken? You're here for a reason. And there are probably, as many reasons on here as we have people. So it's really important because in everything I've ever read about network marketing, it says if you are not really fired up, it's not going to happen. And it takes that kind of passion. And we know it takes passion. It doesn't take just an understanding. Cerebral understanding will not get you where you want to go alone. It is not just about understanding what has to happen and understanding the steps and using the tools and having all that tickety-boo. It's not that. It's that part, but it's the heart and your power of your love, of course, which you're full of love. And Michelle's saying, and what do you want? Of course, I mean, you get to that, but it's also, it's about really the will to do it. It takes will. It really does take will. And you've got to access your will to have the results you want to have. And we're going to really focus on money here, making money. If you can make $1,000, and I'm going to use dollars, not pounds right now, Nikki, but if you can use, if you can make $1,000 in Nikken, you can make $2,000. If you can make $2,000 in Nikken a month, you can make $4,000. If you can make $4,000, you can make $8,000. You can always see double and claim double of what you are making right now. If you can make $5,000, you can make $10,000. If you can make $10,000, you can make $20,000. And it's really getting comfortable with these numbers and getting serious about them, but having fun creating them. It's getting super creative, turning on what do you really want and tuning into this higher vibration. So it's really about making a statement about you. You've got, one of the things with women is we're always serving others. We're taught to serve others, and we do serve others in Nikken. And you can't get anywhere without serving others in Nikken. But you also have to make a statement for you. You're announcing you. You're saying, this is me, and I am going to the top in this. The very first event I ever went to, the first convention, I went to every single upline person, and they were all men. And I said to them, my name is Julie Tara, and I'm going to be a Royal Diamond in Nikken. I was announcing it to them, announcing my queenliness to them, saying, watch out, because I'm going to be calling you a lot for three-way calls. And so they knew who I was. And it wasn't bragging, and it wasn't boastful. And I think we've got to really understand that. It's not about bragging. It's about saying who you really are. And being clean about that and clear about that you are the queen of your own life. And that this is about leadership. And this eclipse that's happening just today, 6:20 this morning, it was happening. I woke up early and I was like, oh, it's happening right now. It's leadership. And we can't succeed in Nikken without claiming leadership. You have to claim your leadership. Your leadership will look different from somebody else's leadership. And that's a good thing. Madeline's leadership is different from Barbara's leadership, is different from Cheryl's leadership, is different from Suzanne's leadership. Michelle, different again, right? Heather, your leadership is different. Carissa, your leadership is different. So being the queen of your own life and really taking this. Now, being a queen, and I want you to really practice this idea every day of what it looks like. One of the things I know about queens, the good queen in any fairy tale, is that she is generous. She's generous. And you may not be able to be generous with money right now, but you can be generous with time. You can be generous with your love. You can be generosity can ooze out of you all in different ways. And it always, I have found the more generous we are in Nikken, the more it all comes back to us. Yesterday I had a friend whose dog got hit by a car, and not hit by a car, hit by another dog, actually attacked, and is in hospital. And I didn't have really any time in the day, but I found a few minutes to take over a Nikken pet pad and some water. And I'm going to take a travel comforter, and I'm going to take the Kenko Touch, which both of mine are out right now with other people, because I lend products all the time. So it's like just, and her generosity and his gratitude was very palpable, because I just made it happen. I'm like, I got to get this stuff to you. You've got to get your dog on it, because they're saying maybe he'll die. Maybe he won't have any, maybe his spine is crushed too bad. Maybe he'll be paralyzed. And I'm like, we've got to use this now, ASAP, no time to waste. So you make things happen with just being gracious and generous, and having gratitude, which we've all talked a lot about, is the power of our gratitude for each other, for Nikken, for these amazing technologies, for the business that can afford you a lifestyle that is amazing. I mean, when I think that I have had checks of $72,000 for 1 month's work, it is humbling. Let me tell you, it is humbling. You're like, oh my gosh, I don't know if I'm worth that, but I am going to put it in the bank anyway. You know, it's powerful. And so I want to really help you with this piece around making money. Now, you know, guys, that I just got the book, and I'm going to suggest that we all read this. I've read Think and Grow Rich before, but this is Think and Grow Rich for women. Think and Grow Rich for women. So it has a different slant, and I really like it. I like it a lot. And so, you know, and it talks, the first chapter, it's the same chapter organization is the burning desire. You've got to have a burning desire that gives you the focus to get out of your house and go make something happen, which is my commitment every day. Is I do not sit around my house listening to calls all the time. I cannot do it. My focus is always prospecting, finding new groups to belong to, and finding new wonderful people to meet, and taking it step by step further into prospecting and sponsoring, because that is our job. I mean, that is our job, right? So the burning desire, faith, is a second chapter in here. Having faith that you can do it. Having faith in the universe. The universe is a friendly place. The universe wants you to win and succeed, and you definitely can with this vehicle, probably more than many others, because it's so perfect for women. Our Nikken is perfect for every woman that I know of. Inspiration is another chapter in here. And there's a very interesting chapter also on, if you remember in the old Think and Grow Rich, the original, on sexual transmutation, which is fascinating, which I had a huge aha on that chapter the other day. And it was about longing. And it's about, if you're longing for something or someone and you don't have it, that will diminish your ability to make money. Did you know that? I never knew that, but I thought about it and I was like, that makes so much sense. And that was an area of my life where, you know, there was a guy I was in love with, longing to be with him, and it didn't happen. You know, longing for the right boyfriend, longing for the right husband, you know, and I was like, oh my gosh, that's affecting my ability to make money. That is not okay. And we know, of course, a man is not a plan. A man is not a plan for our wealth. You do not rely on that, because it could be fatal. It might work out, but it may well not. And there's women who've written, you know, books about that. So we know about that. So let's get this book and study it together, because I think this book is really important. And that was such a big aha for me. And I'm sometimes just one sentence, right, in the right book at the right time. And you're like, wow, I got to let that go and focus on what, you know, creates my well-being, my beautiful well-being. And the author is, well, it's Napoleon Hill's book, but it's Sharon Lechter. Sharon Lechter, here you go. And somebody can write that down if they want to, that wrote it. So very, very, very important. So the vision of being the queen of our own life, I think, is critical. The life cycle plans, guys, we are doing HBMs, but I have to tell you, I love HBM, and it is not the same as it was, because it doesn't have the emotional shifts that we all need to help us forward, to release the past, forgive people, that we know the power of forgiveness. The life cycle plans, which, you know, I have one here, you know, behind me, and I have a big one below it, actually, a really big one there that I love, that big one that I made. And, you know, we want to make new ones and have it be current. Mind movies is another thing. Mind movies. Now, go look up Mind Movies. You can make your own video. It's so beautiful. And then you can add music, and then you can add affirmations to it. And it's fun. And look at it. There's one of mine on my YouTube channel. By the way, all of you like each other's YouTube channels. Make sure you have a channel, and then like each other's channels. We've got to create the buzz. We've got to create that buzz. So make sure. So I have over 200 Nikken videos on my channel. So you definitely do want to like it, but I want to like yours too. So it's not a one-way thing. So these are some main things. Now, so So one of the things, I don't know if you do this, and I'm going to open it up for all of us, but one of the things that is super important is meditation or prayer. And every day, meditation and prayer, because what we're doing is rising our vibration. If we want something we've never had, we've got to do things we've never done. And in order to do things we've never done, we've got to feel really fabulous. And so we're raising vibration. We can't create from the lower vibrations of guilt and shame are the worst, the lowest. If you've ever read Power versus Force, guilt and shame are the lowest vibrations. We can't create from there. We've got to ratchet ourselves up to where in a place of real joy, place of real love, place of real gratitude, and place of peace. So we want to raise our vibration. A lot of that is done through meditation and prayer. The faith piece is huge, that you're not alone and you're going to be helped. You're going to be helped by the invisible world and you're going to be helped by the visible world. You're going to have divine appointments that you're meant to have. And if you're paying attention, listening to your intuition, you will have those divine appointments. I had one just the other day. I went to get a new lease on a new car. Nikken's paid my car payments for 23 years now, 22. It was my 23rd anniversary yesterday. 22 years they paid my car payment. How nice is that? So I got a new car, and the woman who was the financial woman was fabulous. And I was like, oh my gosh, this woman is great. I want to know her. I want to be her friend. She's super healthy, super works out, very dynamic. She's kind of a Wonder Woman type. And she's been texting me saying, I want to get together. I want to get together. I want to learn more about what you do. Because I told her, I said, I think what I do might be very, very interesting for you. Perhaps, perhaps not. So we've got to go with this meditation idea. So filling yourself with light, releasing anything that's holding you back, and sending light, sending blessings, not only to your business, and I hope you have a business name for your business, because you need a business entity that is not you. Mine is Quantum Leap International. I hope you have your own. You need your own, because it's your business. It's not you. You don't want to collapse the two, because otherwise, if your business isn't doing well, you'll think you're not a good person. That's not good. Your business is your business. You're the CEO of your business. But sending light and blessings to your business, sending light and blessings and love to the company of Nikken, sending light and blessings to the products and your own products that you lend out, really imbuing them with power and light and joy, sending blessings to the field, everybody, upline, downline, crossline, doesn't matter, everyone, sending blessings to network marketing. That's the vehicle we're using here, network marketing, sending blessings to the concept and the model of network marketing. And you will see that things shift when you do that. One thing to do, if we're looking at Nikken, just send rainbow colors, send the colors of the rainbow, send it to the company, send it to the products, send it to the compensation plan, send it to each other. You will see a change. You will feel a change. It's very, very palpable and very real. Meditation is a very real thing. And I know that I always think of us as light angels, light warriors, and that we are out there to spread the light, to find other light workers, to help them spread the light, to find other light workers, to help them spread the light, to find other light workers. And that has been my image since the day I started Nikken. And I've never stopped having it. I have a couple of other images I'll share with you. One is like a Garden of Eden, that we're creating heaven on earth, and it's a Garden of Eden, and everybody's super happy in the garden. And there are trees, and there are waterfalls, nature abounds, and people are happy, and kids are playing, and they're healthy and strong and beautiful, and everybody's together, and there is abundance in the garden. There are apples on the tree, and peaches on the tree, and plums on the tree, and cherries on the tree, and that there is this abundance of energy. And that is a visual I do a lot, that's our Nikken. That is Nikken for me. You know, it's heaven on earth and a Garden of Eden. You can use whatever visuals you want. One I've had is like a grove of oak trees, because we're helping people become the stars of their own life. And an oak tree in Celtic mythology in England is very sacred. It's the most sacred of trees. And so, you know, oak trees. And You could have just wild gardens with all these wild flowers. Like Barbara does these great pictures of wildflowers. You know, wildflowers. Let's have a wild garden where we've got the wildflower of Heather and the wildflower of Nikki and the wildflower of Barbara. And what is your wildflower? If you were a wildflower, what wildflower would you be? This is like using your imagination, vision. It is imagination, and we're not using enough imagination. This is a problem for us because we can understand that plan, or we can understand every step, and we can understand all those awards. And Paragon is a great one to focus on because anyone could break 3 goals in a short period of time, in 3 months. Anybody can do it with focus. So it's a nice one, the middle of the road one to focus on. But it doesn't mean anything unless we see that our job is to become the star of our own life, the queen of our own life, and have other people become the queen of their own life and the king of their own life, you know. So it doesn't mean anything without our imbuing it with our imagination. And I think that this is just a problem that all of us have because we're surrounded by a world that is pretty sick. If you saw Dr. Caldwell's very sobering talk in Salt Lake, I mean, it was fabulous and inspiring because she's getting all these amazing results with Nikken products with her patients, with these little children that are deadly ill, you know, but her statistics, and I wrote them down, I have them here somewhere, are appalling. And so this is another area where I feel like, let's be the divine mothers. We're the mothers of the world. We are the mothers. We were always the healers in all times past, and we are the mothers, and we love our children of our planet. We love the little children, and we want them to be healthy. And listen to these statistics. Over 50% of children right now have chronic disease. This is in the US of A. 1 in 5 are on 2 or more prescription drugs. That is a travesty if I ever heard it. 21% of the children are developmentally disabled. 21% is almost a quarter of our children. Autism, 1 in 36 right now. 1 in 36 right now. And by 2025, the projection is 1 in 2 children with autism. How are we going to live in a world like that? How are we going to get everything done that has to be done? From the man who picks up the rubbish to the people that work at the bank to, you know, how are we going to deal with a future like this? The kids are our future. And Dr. Melanie Caldwell, she did such a beautiful job, and I was so touched. I think for me, it was the highlight of the whole event because it was so sad, and it really just made me mad. Like, I'm a mother, and I'm a grandmother. I don't want to see those stats in any of our families, right? So that's a piece for us to really take on, being the queen of your own life, but being the divine mother. Allow the divine mother to come through us and work with us to help these families. And how do we get the word out there? How do we change health and wellness? Is through the women primarily. It really is. It's the women that make the choices for the home. It's the women that are going to buy the wellness home. Most of the time, they're going to probably ask their husbands, but probably if they ask for permission, they're not going to get it. And, you know, so it's usually the women who just go ahead and do it. They do it because they understand, I must have this for my children to survive. So we have a big challenge. And I think we've got to feel self-worth enough and brave enough that we can meet the challenge, that we can meet this challenge, that we can say, I will not be deterred. You know, I will be doing this because this is the right thing to do. This is what I'm called to do. And this is really what makes a Nikken consultant very powerful. They become a Nikken warrior, you know, a warrioress, and, you know, a Wonder Woman. Or what is your superwoman hero? You know, can you take her on? Can you don her persona? Can you bring that archetype in? For me, I've always loved the fairy kingdom. So I always think of myself as the queen of the fairies. I just think that's who I am. That's who I'm supposed to be. And I'm teaching people about nature because I'm bringing the fairy kingdom back into awakening by reminding everybody they need air and water and earth and sun. And this is all governed by the fairy kingdom. I've always thought that. And people see it and they say, oh, I see you with your wand and your with your fairy dust, or they say, oh, you're like Tinkerbell, or they see it because I am it, and it's fine. And there are other ones I relate to as well. But I'd like to hear from you, like who you relate to, because the thing is, if we go out into the world as the queen of the fairies, or if we go out in the world as Aphrodite, or if we go out in the world as Athena, or if we go out in the world as Demeter, the goddess of the grain, we will create phenomenal results with people because people will know. They will feel it. I had one of Dave Johnson's new consultants come over yesterday, and I had done HBM with her. She wasn't my partner. I had one of my new guys be a partner with me, but she was in our 6th group. And in the 6th group, when I looked at her, I said, you're Wonder Woman. And when she came over yesterday, she said, Julie, you don't understand what that meant. She said, as a child, I always said I was Wonder Woman. And then she showed me a picture of her with a Wonder Woman outfit on. I was like, are you kidding me? I just saw it in you. You are Wonder Woman, right? So this might seem foolish to you, but I'm telling you, your imagination and your ability to dawn that goddess, that, bright light being, is huge. See, somebody's saying my self-image is female samurai. Powerful. What about Team Kaizen? That's a perfect, never-ending growth. So these are the kind of things that many of us work with, and it's super important. Another one I want to talk to you today about, and I don't know how our time is because I don't see a time stop other than if I stop the video. So somebody could tell me what timeline we're on in the chat room. That would be great. Somebody figured that one out for me. But this prosperity, if I put that up, I can't see you. If this, I work with Psych K. Now there's the emotion code, there's the abundance code, the body code. I'm thinking about doing the emotion code. I think I'm going to do it soon. Okay, time to close soon. Great. But this is Psych K is one that I do. This Psych K is something I've done with myself. I do it with people in my downline. I do it in surrogation for them. They don't even know I do it for them sometimes. Most of the time they don't. That is because I love them and I want to help them. And this is a sheet on prosperity. This is the Psych K balances for prosperity. And I just want to read you a couple before we go because I want you to think about this. I am worth the money I receive. I receive the money I am worth. Money is one expression of my spirituality and my love for God, myself, and others. I trust myself to manage money honestly and sensibly. It's okay for me to make mistakes with money. It is safe, fun, and easy to make lots of money. It is safe, fun, and easy to make lots of money. That's a great statement. Money is a wonderful tool that I use to create possibility for myself and for others. See, the more money we have, the more generous we can be. This is the thing I've loved, is being able to give money to the environmental causes I love and believe in for the last 20 years. It has meant so much to me. And sometimes I've been able to give a lot every month, and it's been awesome. I can make all the money I need doing a job that I love. We don't even have a job, but we have a career. I am proud of my results and deserve my rewards. Now, the thing with these is that the conscious mind might say, yeah, I do. Subconscious might say, oh, I really don't. I feel ashamed. I feel, and if we go there, we're cooked, we can't create. And creating money is a creative act. The more creative we are, the better we go. This is why I want to do these calls with us so we can create together. So I know we're coming to the end. I know we started late too. So anyone who wants to just, say anything right now, Michelle, Nikki, Madeline, Barbara, Cheryl here, whomever, Heather,
Ruth.
Yeah.
Can you get that document posted on Facebook so we can have access to it? That Psych K list?
It won't mean anything, sweetie, unless you can do the balances.
Correct. I think those statements will then bring up things that we can do, emotion code, whatever. Use those at that.
I'm not allowed to.
Oh.
Unless you're a Psych K practitioner, you actually can't give out the sheets.
Oh, okay.
Sorry. But I read
That's okay.
I can read them all to you one day.
Hi, Julie. I'd like to share what I received in the mail yesterday. I took the time out. I kind of have a death and dying ministry. I'm writing a book. I've been with 40 people that I remember and have some journaling on at the time of their death. So the most recent one, I'm pretty Catholic. And so the cantor of our church has a sister who is a social worker. And she left the Catholic Church, and she sounds like you and Barbara as far as everything. So I got this huge box yesterday with 4 different sprays, 3 different stones, all kinds of little directions. And this, because what she saw, this is a picture with angels of God taking Mother Mary, Blessed Mother, on Ascension Day into heaven. Yes. And so at the funeral home, now this is a very traditional Catholic funeral home, when I walked in, when they buried Mom, she came up to me in front of everybody that was ready to say the rosary. Madeline, did Adrian tell you? Well, her sister, who's the cantor, their father was a cantor, she's a cantor, her daughter's a cantor. And so when she was ready to start singing, and she said, at the time, her mother kept opening her eyes and saying Mary. And Adrian next to me said, Madeline, do you think she's seeing something on television? I said, no, I know who she's seeing. Turn the television off, So right before the moment of her death, the sister called from New Jersey. And I said to Adrian, put the phone at her ear, which she did. And then Adrian got frustrated and said, I really don't think that Mom can hear you. So then she took the phone away, and Mom opened her eyes, said Mary one more time, and breathed her last breath. And so when I walked into the funeral home, she came up to me and she said, did Adrian tell you? She said, I'm a clairvoyant. And what I saw at that moment, and I said no. So, of course, Adrian's kind of present and said to me afterwards, Madeline, I just hope you accept everything. I said, I do. And she said what she saw was that Mom started going and saw Tata. The mother had her mother's mother. Too much. But anyway, it was okay, enough. So anyway, for all of this to arrive at this point in time, I rearranged some of my angels around me.
Good.
Took a morning time out and gave myself a little spa day. But I think what you're saying, and going back to the life cycle charts, and for us just being who we are, and truly to have 87.6% of all of network marketing being women.
Yes.
And yet
they're rocking it. They are rocking it in other companies that don't have anything as close as what.
But the statistics are still that cash flow quadrant. It's not that many women that are in the 3 to 5% that can really help with what we have, the wellness home.
We have a duty, guys. We have a duty. Barbara? Yeah?
Yeah, we need to complete the call to be really timely, but people are recommending that they would really like for us as a group to read Think and Grow Rich for Women, which, as we all know, that's like a bigger mass queen mind that is going to bring us all to another level of vibration. And if everybody could really think about who their super queen power woman is and live that until the next call, and take time to do the prayer and the meditation. I see you, Suzanne. That even if we don't have all those words that I totally understand with integrity that Julie can't share, you can make your own, Yeah. I have great money. I make it from love and passion and all of that. So Suzanne, go for it.
Suzanne?
So I just wanted to tie back, because of all the things you said, Julie, this is a animal power.
Yes.
Book. And this past week, I had a porcupine in my front yard. I was next to it pretty much, 6 inches to a foot away from it, and got to take some pictures. And in this book, it says, porcupine is innocence, free yourself of guilt and shame. And then the other animal that presented itself is a squirrel. I was skiing on Tuesday and 5 squirrels ran right out in front of me, little red squirrels. And squirrel is preparation to get ready for big changes. So I thought I'd share both of these with everyone on this call because it's appropriate for all of us.
Absolutely. Thank you, Suzanne. And thank you, everybody. And next one is, when's our next one, Barbara? Next week?
Oh, yes, it is. And we will get the correct numbers out and everything all smoothed out. We did a great job of troubleshooting. Thanks, everybody, for their patience around that. I want to share that Michelle has a Humans Being More weekend in Winnipeg, Manitoba, April 7th and 8th. That will include life cycle plans. So if you know anybody that wants to go there, that would be awesome. And
we have two product showcases tomorrow morning and tomorrow evening.
Great. Great. Okay. All right. I know we have to go. I know we've been on longer. Thanks, everybody, for being on. Think about your queen self and bring her to the next call. And we'll send out the invitations, and we won't mess up next time.
Thank you, Julie. Thank you, Barbara.
Yeah, pleasure.
Bye. Love you. Bye.
Have an awesome week.